and good afternoon. It's Patricia-Anne at the International Institute of Coaching, and welcome once again to our series. Now today we will be working with Master Coach. His name is Chris Stribblehill. He is actually a Master Coach from Life Coach School International, and if we can get him on the line, let's see where we go from here. So Chris, are you there?
I am here. Thank you very much, Patricia-Anne, for that very warm introduction to the call. I'm very excited to be working with you once again.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I'm delighted too. And do you know what, Chris? That is just what coaching is all about. It's about giving and taking and sharing and offering each other's expertise to make all the parts fit the whole. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. So let me speak a little about Patricia-Anne. Patricia-Anne, as well as being the Associate Director of the IIC, is a fantastic and generous lady who also happens to be a successful entrepreneur. So all of her skills and talents will be in full force today, as are my own.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Very, very kind of you, Chris. And you know, I may have been in coaching myself for well over 30 years. In the old days, it was all about personal development. But you've been, a master coach quite some time. In fact, you've been coaching for 11 years?
Yes, I've been coaching throughout my life, and with 11 plus years of experience in the retail industry, I've experience of mentoring, training and coaching people from all walks of life and all ages and abilities, and they've all benefited from it.
Interesting, very, very interesting. And of course you work regularly with me, training those other people who want to become coaches and others who want to become master coaches.
Absolutely, just part of my life's work and enjoyment.
Okay, so Chris, did you want to ask me any questions about coaching?
I did. So, Patricia-Anne, am I right in saying you've worked as a life coach since forming Life Coach School International in late 1979?
That is absolutely right, Chris. I mean, in those days, as I mentioned earlier, it was all about personal development and confidence boosting and self-esteem and building up one's own persona of achieving more. And then in the 80s, I came across a company in America, a very interesting man, Leonard Thomas, and he was the one who actually helped me to understand what coaching was. And I did a course with his company all those years ago. And I developed then from there, I developed my own international life coaching school.
Fabulous. So how would you define a life coach to me and for our listeners out there?
How would I define a life coach?
Just a life coach, not a master life coach.
What a fabulous question. Okay, so for me, a life coach would be someone who has a positive mindset, someone who believes in perhaps the concept of the law of attraction, but basically they enjoy being positive and they decide that they can build a plan on their vision, step out that plan, piece it all together step by step, and then actually go and achieve the goal. So life coaching is about being more and taking personal responsibility of what you want to do.
Okay, so let me just make sure I've got your understanding of that correctly. So it's about being more, taking personal responsibility for the choices you want to make and choose to make in life. And a coach is someone who has a positive mindset and can build a big picture plan and then break it down into little pictures to show how they can get there. Is that a fair insight?
That is a very fair insight. And of course the beauty with that is, Chris, they are then able to pass on those skills, those techniques, those tips, those tools that they've learned for themselves to their clients, without being interfering, without being the person who offers advice, but actually about helping the other person to build up their own self-esteem and take on their own responsibility. A life coach, it's just wonderful work.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that with us, Patricia-Anne. That's given me even more clarity and insight than I had already, and I do hope our listeners feel the same. So could you please share with us what being a life coach means to you on a personal level?
What it means to me, Chris, on a personal level? Well, it allows me to review what I wish to do what I want to achieve. It allows me to reflect on what I have achieved and where I will be going. It allows me to be positive, to be outgoing, to be decisive, to use a language that is full of forward-moving steps, and to be able to go out there and take responsibility for myself and achieve more. So I'm very privileged to be a life coach, and I'm very privileged to have had the opportunity to share my findings and my teachings with other people, with so many students throughout the last 30 years.
Thank you very much. That fantastically leads to the next question I have prepared to ask you.
Okay.
I'm sat here. I have a copy of your book in front of me, and the book I'm referring to is the Life Coaching A to Z book, as I know you've written a couple of books in your work as a coach and an author and a coach trainer. So in the A to Z, Life Coaching A to Z, you talk about coaching models. Can you share with us which coaching model you use yourself?
Okay. Yes, of course. I'd be delighted to, Chris. Many years ago, when I was just a babe, it was my mother who shared a wonderful poem with me, and it came from Rudyard Kipling's book, The Jungle Book.
I've read that myself, yeah.
You have? Yes.
Oh, yes.
And it's a wonderful story. But that poem was this.
Okay.
I had 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I know. Their names are what, where, who, why, and when, and how. And you know, Chris, if you consider yourself to be transparent, honest, full of integrity, upright, you can apply those words to your life. And the model that I use for myself is the 6-step coaching model. It's a wonderful tool. It's something that I devised from my mother's teachings, and it's what I share with the students. But of course, there are many other models out there, and the coaching profession is actually littered. It's abundant with the many models. But I personally use the 6-step coaching model.
Excellent. Is there any more you can share with us about how the 6-step coaching model works on a practical level?
Oh,
you know what I'm like.
Right, I see. Well, there's lots and lots I could share, Chris, but I won't do that today, because what we've done, we've actually organised a whole fleet of webinars for people out there, for the listeners at the IIC. And one of those webinars I will actually be discussing various coaching models. So I won't be talking about how the 6-step coaching model works today. I will be later on in a future webinar.
Marvellous. I look forward to quizzing you to get further detail for our listeners out there. So, which skills do you think are fundamental for a great life coach? I think you've covered that in some of the questions that you've already answered, but sort of if you could pick the top 3 skills for a great life coach.
Oh, the fundamental skills for a great life coach. Wow. All right. Well, it is all about being positive. It's having that mindset for yourself. And then
Yes.
a second skill, which is very, very important, is actually listening. Because so many people do not listen to what other people are sharing with us.
Yes.
So a fundamental skill for a life coach would be listening. And then the third one that I would possibly add on there would be about quality questioning.
Ah, yes.
By asking our clients quality questions, we can elicit from them the inside essence of what they are saying, and then applying the skill of listening, we hear what they're saying, and then of course, because of our positive mental attitude, we are able to relay to them what they've said, and with that they are able to move forward. So the 3 fundamental skills would be a positive mental attitude,
Yeah.
listening skills,
Yeah.
and what I said just now,
Great questioning.
the great questioning. That's right.
And also taking great notes helps you.
Yes, of course.
Because I know that with my own coaching and the work I do with my own clients, it is my firm intention to include all of the skills that I have in my skill set to the maximum benefit of my clients. And I also teach our new coaches at Life Coach School International to do the same thing, which you'll be relieved to hear, I'm sure. How would one of our listeners out there get a great coach? Where can they start?
Oh, well, the only place that they ever need to go, of course, is the IIC's very own International Coaching Register.
Marvellous.
So, Chris, do you have any other questions for me?
I think that's it from me. One question, maybe for the ladies and gentlemen out there who are listening in to us, is how can they ask us a question? We've provoked their interest and they'd like to know more.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, they can contact myself, of course, at the IIC, and I believe that will be coming up on the screen. And of course, they're always welcome to pop along to lifecoachschoolinternational.co.uk.
And of course, they'll find me there under the faculty if it's me they'd like to talk to.
Right, that's right.
With a lovely photo.
Wonderful. Well, there we have it. And I must say thank you very much, Chris, for asking me those very directed questions. It's been interesting. I do feel that this series is going to be very enlightening and will give lots and lots of insights to our listeners who are looking to become coaches themselves, to up the ante on their existing coaching business, and even for those people who wish to find coaches to work with. So once again, thank you very much for coming along to the IIC, and we look forward to speaking with you soon. This is PaTrisha-Anne at the IIC.